Hello everyone, it's Brickmaster here, and today I have an older LEGO Star Wars set to review. This is the 4479 TIE Bomber from 2003. This set comes with 229 pieces, was rated for ages 7 to 12, and cost you $30 back when it was in stores. So for 20 years, this was the only minifigure scale TIE Bomber that LEGO had released until last year, when they came up with a new one, which has a very different design, very different look, but since I have a lot of blue TIE fighters, I thought I might as well get the one that would match with my fleet. So I've been wanting this set for over 10 years, and I finally was able to get one last week, along with the TIE Interceptor. Different orders, but they came around the same time, so I was building TIE fighters for a few hours, which was nice. So let's look at the instructions to be the first part of the review. Alright, so here are the instructions that come with the set. They're really big, which I think is kind of insane for a $30 set. I'm sure in the box they were folded, and that's why there's the crease right there. It has a total of 20 pages, I think, including the back. Yep, 20, which is not a lot, but that's because of the large size at the back. It shows you to tells you to go on the LEGO website, which looks very different at that time. Here it shows you some micro scale sets. You can combine them to make a TIE bomber, funny enough. And 19 steps of building. No box that tells you what parts you need for each step, but forces you to pay attention. So I'm not really sure why you need such a large instruction manual for this set, but I don't mind it. I think it looks nice. Alright, so here's a look at the only minifigure that comes with the set. This is the TIE Fighter Pilot. This one was used between 1999 and I believe 2010 or so. When they came up with the new mold for the helmet. So you can see this is just a black Stormtrooper helmet with the little Imperial roundels there. He does have some oxygen tanks because he is in outer space. Also his pressurized suit and everything like that. Like many of the astronauts of the time, the TIE Fighter pilots of the time, if you lift up the helmet, you can see he just has a brown head. Sometimes they had black heads, sometimes they had brown heads, so yeah, no face or anything right there, no back printing or anything. But yeah, I don't really mind. I know some people don't like the old TIE Fighter pilots, but to me, I'm pretty indifferent towards them. I think that they serve their purpose well. So yeah, that's it for the minifigure. Alright, so here's a look at the TIE Bomber itself. Like many of the TIE fighters at the time, it uses similar building styles, techniques, and everything, so it would fit really well with the other TIE fighters at the time. So you can see it has symmetrical wings right here, has some blue here, the Imperial roundel, some nice ratchet joints here to give you the iconic angle. Of course it is symmetrical. Well, wing-wise it's symmetrical here on the other side. And yeah, I think it looks nice. Over here you can see this is where the cockpit is. It uses the old style windscreen piece for TIE fighters. I think it looks really good. And of course you can open it like this by lifting up a hinge, and inside you can see is the little cockpit section for the TIE Fighter pilot. And I'll go ahead and I'll sit him inside like this. He fits in quite well. It's a little bit dark in there, so I'm not sure if you could see, but there really is nothing to see. Unfortunately, there are no control panels, and that's one of my criticisms about this set. I do not like when spaceships don't have control panels. I think it's very unrealistic, and even if the minifigure can't reach them or they're really simple, that's better than nothing. But anyway, of course, you can close the cockpit up. You can see here at the top, I'll just move my recording device a little bit, stand. So this is what the top area looks like. Uses a lot of grills to try to create some detail. I do appreciate that, of course. And as you can see, that here is, of course, a back section with another hinge. So, of course, this is a TIE bomber. So, of course, it has a bombing mechanism. Alright, so here's a view of the set from the back. And, of course, this is where the bombing function is. So you can see there's this hinge right here. And you can lift it up, and that gives you access to the bomb bay. And there are a total of 3 little blue cylinder pieces, which are bombs. And I have heard that these are the correct color for these bombs. And you just drop them in there, close it up, and there's this mechanism which releases it. And here you can pull this back section out, and it will release the bombs. So I'll pick up the set to show it to you a bit better. And you just pull it back and the bombs fall out. So I think it's pretty effective. I'll show it to you from a different angle. Well, I won't drop the bombs again this time. I just thought that it would be good to show you where the bombs fall out. So there's this little hole right here, and by pulling this, it lifts this gray trap door up, and at least one bomb fell out. And yeah, that's how they fall out. It's a pretty nice function. Yeah. I'll make sure to pick that up because they do tend to get everywhere. But I think it's a pretty nice function. Alright, so back to the front of the vehicle. You can see there's another section of the TIE bomb that I've not shown you yet. So this is the missile bay right here. And you can see there are these two doors right here, and they're printed, which I absolutely love. I love when things are printed. I tend to dislike stickers, as most LEGO fans do. So what you can do is you can open up these doors. One here, and one there. And there's this lever up here, and you just pull it back, and it fires one of those fantastic LEGO Technic missiles. I've heard a lot of people say this, and I definitely agree. These are my favorite LEGO projectiles. I don't think they make them anymore. They have this rubber top, and they use sprigs within the cannon, and it fires them at a very, very pretty fast velocity. I really do like that a lot. They, of course, squishy at the front, and they always tell you to not shoot someone's eye with it, which I wish was common sense, but perhaps not. But yeah, you can close the doors like this, and I think it all looks quite good. So yeah, that's it for my overall review. Now I'll talk about my overall thoughts on the set. Alright, so for my overall thoughts on the set, I do like it. However, there are two flaws that I can find with it. The first of which is that there are no control panels in the cockpit, which I was surprised of because I have some other TIE Fighter sets from around the time, and the two TIE Fighters have control panels. The TIE Advanced does not, which I find kind of strange. And I know the TIE Interceptor from 3 years later actually has controls, so that could have been added. The other thing is that the set, if it's played around with in too much of a rough manner, it does seem a bit flimsy because there are only two pegs attaching them, and while it won't fall off, it will feel like that, so it does seem a bit wobbly. In 2004, they would correct this by putting some pieces that would sort of cover up the slopes here. They're basically the inverse of the slope right here, and it really keeps it together. So there is that, but overall I do really like the set. Of course, there's the new TIE Bomber that came out last year, and that's a very interesting looking set, and it probably looks more accurate. However, I do have some things to say about that set as well. That set, the bombing function, I heard is not as good. I've seen reviews of it, and also the missile is not really a missile. It's just two stud shooters which are there, which I find pretty sad. I think that it's much better if you have this large missile here. So I think this makes a better playset. Maybe that one makes a better display piece. And I would definitely get this version if you have blue TIE Fighters, because I do like things looking uniform to my collection. That's why I'm very much against all these new updates and changes with Stormtroopers and Clone Troopers, because it just makes the minifigures look not uniformed, and you want to get a collection of clones or a collection of Stormtroopers, or even a fleet in which the ships look like they complement each other well. And I think that is why I would definitely go pick up this one if you have an older LEGO Star Wars collection. However, if you have a newer one, maybe the other one is a better option for you. I will also advise you to probably get this set now, because the set is a lot cheaper. It has depreciated a lot since the new version has come out, which I think is really nice. The set used to be around $130 if you wanted to get one used. I got this one for $45, so because the new one exists, a lot of people would rather get that one than this one. So yeah, you decide which one is best for you, but I'm happy with this one. So I hope to see you all later for more LEGO Star Wars reviews. They will be coming out less frequently than I would like, most likely, but yeah, they will be on their way. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all later. Bye.